start by saying that this is a very important bill that is before all of us as legislators, and I would like to commend the MPP for Cambridge for your courage. What you've shown here today is an absolute display of courage that we should all take lessons from as legislators. You know, as we know, the PC party has faced multiple police investigations into the conduct of many things, none the least of which is their nomination process. You know, and Madam Speaker, I would say this I know very well because I was a candidate in the riding of Hamilton West Ancaster Dundas. And the candidate, the Conservative candidate that I ran against, Ben Levitt, was part of an investigation that was launched in the spring of 2017 in relation to the nomination race that they had in that riding. You know, the claims and the concerns of what happened at that nomination meeting are very familiar. We heard about ballot stuffing. We heard about memberships that were bought, you know, in the name and paid for in the name of other people, which is contrary to what we would consider ethical. We heard about falsification of documents, again, sort of a familiar refrain. And in fact, police investigators, found that they discovered that, in fact, at the nomination meeting, forms appeared to be falsified. So that's what they say appeared to be falsified. But in fact, what was happening was that there was a printer in a classroom at Ancaster High, and they were generating identifications to be used at the balloting table. And there was, it wasn't clear whether or not some of the 407 data was actually being used in that instance. Wow. So this is a terrible story. You know, the investigators found that at least that one person who cast a ballot at the nomination meeting had actually passed away. So this is all well documented in a CBC News article entitled "How to Rig a Political Party Nomination Meeting." And if you read this article, you will see that these are the kinds of concerns and the kinds of stories that we're hearing now from the MPP for Cambridge. You know, the court documents showed the Conservative Party didn't really want a particular candidate to win. So they tipped the scales in favour of their preferred candidate. And in a sworn affidavit, the past PC party's president stated that the candidate inspired mistrust, might not be a reliable team player, and didn't fit the demographic that the party wanted for Hamilton West Ancaster Dundas. Yeah. So, you know, this was all happening during the campaign, and at the doorstep, I have to say that it created a cloud, a black cloud over the nomination, over the race. You know, people, as we know, are already deeply cynical about politicians. So it didn't help us in Hamilton West Ancaster Dundas to have a race that was about the issues that people really were concerned about hydro rates, about affordability. Instead, there was just this cloud of suspicion that we had to work through. So, you know, we agree with this bill. We agree that the people of Ontario need to have confidence in the political process. It's a fundamental component of our democracy. It shouldn't even have to be described as that. We should just all understand that. And so I support that this bill ensures that measures are in place, that we will get rid of this old cronyism that seems to be getting worse, not better. And I'm happy to offer my support to this bill, especially given my experience.